Welcome back everyone. As you can see, we're jumping straight into removing the wheels, so we can start with getting my Mr2 Spyder track ready part 2, removing the wheels so we can inspect the BC racing, see what I've done the previous days, and see the braided brake lines if they leaked or anything. And right after we are done with that, we will check everything again and start with the bleeding process.
Όχι. Διαφήμιση σου ρωτήθη. Τεχνολόγια. Παπ. Παπ. Έτσι. Ό,τι πρέπει. Παπ. 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 Παπ.
I'ma kick back, I'ma kick back, I'ma kick.
Anti-season.
Θα βάλεις πάνω στο βιντεάκι Christmas. Πάλι Christmas. Όχι, φέρτε σήμερα, δεν σε δω γίνεται. Άνοιψε να βλέπω. Τώρα, να ξέρεις. Σχεδόν να γράψω. Πάνε organic.
Once we finish getting high, we start putting some brake fluid because we lost some obviously with all the leakage and the brake lines and everything. So we top it out fully, doesn't really matter, it will drink it all up really quick. And then we set up everything to get started with the bleeding process. Now what you want to do is obviously use my perfect kit for bleeding, and then you connect one side of the hose to the bleeding nipple and you open it and you close it. Basically that's the job for the one person. The other person is inside the car pumping the brake only when the nipple is completely closed. Once he stops pushing, he holds it down basically 1 2 3 4, and the fourth time he pushes the brake pedal down, he does not release it. You open the nipple for a little bit, get all the air and the liquid out, close the nipple, tell him to restart, and that's basically what you do again and again and again, starting from the furthest wheel, furthest side basically, passenger rear, and then going passenger driver, and then going to the passenger, and then to your wheel. After that, we see Alex struggling because I'm not holding the brake nicely. He's torquing to spec the front wheels. We are done with that with a little bit of anti-seize just to secure a better surface for the wheel and the hub connection. And we're basically done with the bleeding. It is as simple as you saw right there. It's nothing, just repeat. Here I'm showing you a mistake that happened, but yeah, it's a clock spring and I don't have a horn, but let's continue for now.
Τι θα έρθει. Και είναι captive, δεν φεύγουν αυτά, αυτά κάθονται εδώ πέρα. Τέλεια. Λοιπόν, πω ελληνικά αγγλικά θες μπροστά.
Μίλα αγγλικά ρε φίλε, αλλά λογικά μιούτ θα μπεις.
Τι?
Μίλα.
Αγγλικά δεν θα μπεις.
Μιούτ θα σε βάλω.
Ωραία, λοιπόν. Αυτή που θα μπρος και είναι Απρίλιο. Εδώ. Άρα, χωρίς το κατσαβίδι ενδιάμεσα για να πιάσει τρέπ. Και μετά ξεβιδώνεις μέχρι να ανοίγει. Λες, κάνει μέχρι μέσα το πουρδέλο. Basically αυτό κάνει. Πιάνεις εδώ και πάει κόντρα στο κατσαβίδι για να μπορείς να ξεβιδώσει όλες.
God damn. We lost the bolt. This is currently over the car is stopped.
Basically, what Alex was saying previously is that sometimes those bolts get stuck because they are not supposed to get removed off the wheel. And then we lost it somehow, we removed it off the wheel. But the deal here is, in order to get into the steering wheel and get the airbag out, you can push with the screwdriver right on the threads of the bolt in order to have some pressure to hold it back, and at the same time undo it, you know, unbolt it basically. After that, we are just marking and removing the rest of the steering system to get to the clock spring.
Τώρα θα δώσω τρώνος έτσι και να μην έχεις κάτι.
Με αυτό δεν θα...
Έχεις το λιτάκι μετά εκτυπωμένα drill bits που είναι ένα drill bit έτσι.
Ναι, και στα κάνει να κάνεις...
Ναι, η AI το κάνει να φαίνεται όλο σαν να τρυπάει. Professional tools. Snap on. Just snap on. Specialty one. Toyota SST.
Ωχ, καράφλα. Ωχ, και εδώ. Μαλάκα. Χάνεις και εσύ μαλλιά. Δες εδώ, μαλάκα, και εδώ. Ναι, full, γιατί εγώ τελείωσα. Δεν έχει κάτι άλλο. Δεν έχει κάτι άλλο. Τι θα, είμαι καράφλος και... Εσύ θα γίνεις. Ναι.
Σου φαίνεται να με νοιάζει πολύ το μαλλί μου γενικά. Λοιπόν. Σου κάνω να πει ακριβώς όπως ήταν αυτό. Θα αφήσω άλλο στο κοιτάνε. Α, είναι άλλο airbag σε ένα. Οχο.
Ναι, εντελώς διαφορετικά είναι.
Ναι, δεν έχει καμία σχέση με το
Well, basically, if you did not understand what happened, the clock spring I got has nothing to do with the clock spring that my car has. Now, I don't know if it's a pre-facelift difference, I don't know if it's a US or a UE or Asia different thing, but whatever. I just show you how you would swap them, but unfortunately we did not check if the main thing is the same, and we cannot use it, unfortunately. Once we are finally done with everything related to that, we start doing business, and that's the moment that I was really hyped for. A Moroso oil pan. I really wanted that since literally getting the 2ZZ on my car installed. We cleaned the bolts because you have this vintage tray in the Moroso that is held with 4 bolts. It had a little bit of Loctite, so we cleaned them first, then I cleaned the pan again. It's basically the 5th or 9th or 11th or who knows 100th time that I'm cleaning it, and then after cleaning it with brake fluid, I'm starting brake cleaner, sorry. I started cleaning it with a little bit of oil and getting all the debris caught and dropped down basically in the areas that I could catch them, and with a soft towel or some paper onto the tip of a screwdriver, I start slowly catching everything, and with a very good and strong light, we are about to see every single detail, every single thing that could not be caught by just our eyes, I guess. And as you can see, we caught something right on the edge that it's basically impossible to see because of how dark it is. But yeah, we done that. I cleaned the vintage tray as well. Thin aluminium plate, very thin, with literally zero reinforcement or something like that, but I guess it doesn't need any reinforcement. And yeah, we put a little bit of Loctite, getting it right on place, seeing where the other guy had them because of the marks. And then once we're done with that, Alex says, you know, I don't touch those, you do your stuff yourself. And I, you know, torqued down everything to handy tighty, lefty loosey type of thing. Everything went well, don't worry. And once we're done with that, stage 2, getting the old oil out and the oil filter and then the oil pan. With the oil filter, I don't seem to be able to get the oil filter with my hand. For some reason, every single time I tighten it a little or a little bit more, it's still very, very tight. So I always have to remove it with that screwdriver and hammer technique. Once we're done with that, we drain the oil normally. Nothing fun to see here. This is a great idea, by the way, with the old bottle that you can, reuse and have a can to get your oil, but it's really hard to throw after that, so I don't know if it was that much of a good idea. And once we removed the oil pan, remember what happened a year ago? Do you remember?
Φέρει και το φακό. Να το δούμε και εμείς καλά. Ναι, φούσκες, αλλά από τι είναι αυτές οι φούσκες και είναι τόσο σκληρές, δες? Δεν φεύγουν με το τέλος.
Λάδι είναι, μαλάκα.
Well, if you don't remember what happened exactly a year ago, I removed the oil pan for the first time, and unfortunately I found lots of chunky stuff in there, bronze material, most likely bearings. But after a year of hard driving, etc., it seems that everything is perfectly fine, thank God. Most likely it was debris from I don't know where and I don't know how. I literally don't know if it's a rebuilt engine and it's somehow a successful rebuild, and that was from the oiled, I don't know, maybe the head was changed and the head had some bearing material. I really don't know. For now though, everything seemed clean, a little bit of glitterish type of oil, not something to be happy about, but unfortunately the camshafts and the whole lubrication system on the A2ZZ is not great, so glitter, not to worry too much. Just have it on the really backside of my mind to think of it sometimes. Now what Alex is doing, I don't really know. Oh, I think he's cleaning the old sealant and everything that needs to be cleaned with a little bit of red Scotch-Brite, and yeah, getting everything smooth and good so the new sealant will sit in place properly and seal the whole area as the old one did with 0 leaks. Be professional here. You don't want no leaks in the oil pan. You hate them, I hate them, everyone hates them.
So we are at the final steps for the oil pan. Alex is currently cleaning the block. He used some Scotch-Brite and a razor blade to remove the excess sealant, and now he's cleaning it with some brake cleaner. And once we are done with that, we got some different bolts because the OEM ones are not long enough, and I don't know if the other guy did not remember or just lied to me when I asked him what he used, but we got those. I'm not very happy about those because we're definitely gonna need to use some of the washers. Not those, the smaller ones obviously, but yeah, I'm a bit skeptical and scared about it, so this is somewhat the final stage currently. We've cleaned it as much as we could, we put even some oil to collect the residue, but again, see, small little things fall from here, outside, the wind, but I guess those will be filtered by the oil filter, no big deal, I wish. And yeah, that's it for right now. Once he's done, we're gonna apply sealant as he did previously 1 year ago on this oil pan. I cleaned it so it's ready to get to the storage and maybe for sale. Some people, I don't know, buy them, but yeah, you can see that the sealant was applied nicely previously, so if we manage to get a similar result with the Moroso now, we will be pretty good, right Alex? Yep, he's finishing that and we will continue.
Είναι πολύ possible αυτό. Και δεν έχει κανένα και το ψωμί, μαλάκα. Είναι η μαλακία.
Και οι άλλοι πώς τα βγάζουν όλα.
Τέλειο. Θέλω 1,16 γιατί δεν χωράει να μπει.
Τι θέλεις τότε?
Τα πιάνει και τα δύο μαζί.
Ναι.
Ναι. Δεν χωράει. Θέλουμε δεκαράκι σκέτο.
Just a little bit of struggling here because the nuts were rotating under the same wrench while we are trying to remove the studs because we don't have long enough studs, or if we use the same studs, the nut does not have anything to catch on, basically no threads, it's covered by the oil pan. The Moroso is way too thick right there. So we will use, instead of having the 3 studs basically, we will replace them with normal bolts. They are the exact same thread type, and you know, they are the same depth, everything is the same. As long as you don't go way too far with way longer bolts, you shall be fine. We remove the first stud, we remove the second stud next to it, and then we move to the last stud that is somewhat on the other side, I think. And once we finish that, it's time for business once again. We prime the what am I doing? But yeah, we prime the sealant, and then Alex is doing the best he can. I trust him on such things. I basically trust him on many things, but on those things I think he's good. Or at least we saw it on the previous oil pan a year ago. He did an amazing job. 0 leaks for a whole year, and pretty nice spine. The way he covered the whole thing was good.
Έβαλα εκεί παντού.
Α, είδες σε ποιο σημείο είναι?
Δεν είδα, απλώς έβαλα αρκετά εκεί, παντού γύρω-γύρω.
Εδώ που έπρεπε να μπει παραπάνω, τέλος πάντων. Ευχόμαστε ότι θα πιάσει από τη γραμμή και μέσα. Να το... Εγώ απλά κρατάω, δεν κοιτάω τι πάω.
Ωραία. Εσύ μόνο κοίτα την πλευρά σου που ακούγες δεν είναι. Ωραία, το κρατάς λίγο εδώ, όπως είδε.
Ναι, εδώ όπως είναι το κρατάω, αν δεν το κουνάς καθώς το κάνω.
Πρέπει να το παίρνεις λίγο προς εσένα για να δεις.
Σίγουρα.
Όπα. Ένα τρέντο έχει πιάσει, ωραία, δεν θα πούμε κάτι. Πάρε, σήκωσε εδώ. Τώρα έχουμε και το δεύτερο guide εδώ.
Άρα,
Πού θα έρθει αυτό οι δύο δίπλες.
νάτες, μπροστά σου. Ναι, το θέμα είναι ότι εδώ δεν έχουμε guide.
Πες guide, και σήκωσε εδώ.
Ναι. Να το πατήσουμε.
Ωραία, πάτησε λίγο.
Έπιασε.
Τι πεις? Ωραία, έπιασε εδώ, έπιασε εκεί.
After properly aligning the oil pan on the block and putting a couple bolts, we are watching Alex's ass for a long period of time. Yeah, that's why I'm fast forwarding, but even fast forwarding is not enough. Yeah, we still are watching. Now a little bit covered, but still somewhat watching the underside of Alex. But long story short, besides watching Alex's underside, I will tell you that we put a little bit of thread locker on all of those bolts just because we don't know how deep they will go. Obviously it's better to be safe, and with that I mean it's better to go a little bit shorter instead of going longer or risking it in order to have a perfect fit and eventually cracking the block and losing the whole thread, losing many other things just because you wanted to go deeper. So don't go deeper, guys, be safe, go with the volume, go with the tides, go with the waves, go a little bit smaller, be better, be secure. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. We're back at watching Alex's ass, or rear, sorry guys, I do apologize. But yeah, watching his ass or not, or his rear, we're doing a perfect job here with the sealant and the bolts and my bald ass as well. What the hell is going on with this video?
Και εδώ φαίνεται satisfying είναι όλο. Θέλω το κολλάκι για να
Satisfying. Αυτό ήταν με τα δύο τέτοια. Αυτό το έχω σφίξει εγώ. Άρα σφίγγω λίγο παραπάνω από 10 λεπτόμετρα.
Το side edit. Όταν πας να σφίξεις και είναι σε βάση κλακ κλακ αμέσως.
Εφόσον δεν έχει δουλειά από κάτω είναι πολύ πιο εύκολο. As you can already tell, it is one of those times that you work on something but you're having such a great time. So many laughs and giggles here and there, NPC moments, NCP, NPC, yeah, whatever, and lots of fun and enjoyment. Overall excited to see the results too, but yeah, we were happy, we were having fun. Nice to work on cars, nice to have great friends. Other than that, I'm filling 5 liters of 10W20 liquid moly into the engine. She is drinking it nicely, but we are not done. Well, basically with the Moroso you take a whole liter more, and if you add, for example, like me, 4.7 or 4.6 into a 2ZZ, what you want to do after that is to step a whole liter above, so basically 5.6 or 5.7 liters. Now obviously I do check the dipstick to make sure I don't go too much or if it's too low yet. I'm calculating a little bit, doing some math here and there to not add more, and then I continue putting more and more and more oil. Yeah, obviously you have to check it the next day, but every time you do an oil change you want to be right on the maximum level. Am I wrong? I don't think so.
Ρίξαμε και πάνω τα πάλι.
We're done with the oil change, but the day is not done yet. Continuing, going to the next stage now, taking off the hardtop, making a little bit more space because we'll be working on the interior. It was a bit of a struggle, as you can see some things flying off from the hardtop. Is because I put a little bit of butyl or a lot of butyl to seal the hardtop properly. Just because I've removed completely the soft top, it makes a little bit of a leaking issue there and here and there, so I had to work on it with a little bit of butyl rubber, etc., to get the perfect non-leaking top. We take the chairs off, chairs, Jesus Christ, no, the sofas, man. We take the seats off, and now we're checking the ECU, taking it off so we don't damage it while installing the roll bar. And once we're done with that too, we are ready to get the roll bar inside the car and see how it sits, where do we need to drill, how much do we have to work on this thing, how many DIY things we'll have to do, because as almost always nothing goes exactly as planned, and my car is a bit different. Is it crashed? Is it bent? Is the other car bent, crashed, or it was designed badly? I don't know, but we had to work a little bit and do some DIY things in order to fit this roll bar perfectly.
Λίγη δόση, ναι. Να περνάει και βίδα κομπλέ.
Θα βάλουμε μία βίδα να το σφίξει, να κάτσει εδώ. Να λες ούτε από εκεί κάθεται καλά, ούτε από εδώ κάθεται καλά. Και τα δύο είναι γύρω στο μέρα. Μάλλον γι' αυτό είχαν και κάνει τα περίεργα ροδέλες. Αυτό ήταν η ιστορία.
Σαν να διαβάζει το άλλο.
Πάμε λίγο.
Here and there, at the first clips, we were literally again watching something that is not supposed to be seen on this channel, and it was Alex's groin area with a freaking hole right in the middle. I don't know who designed that. I don't know if he did that for, you know, snap on, snap off type of thing, you know, in and out. But focusing back into the car, we put the roll bar, made small adjustments here and there. We had a small issue at the back that you will see soon. The front somewhat comes close to the area that is supposed to, as you can see, and the holes are nicely being drilled. But the top is way too far from the firewall. Now the idea is that we finish designing whatever we have to design here on the bottom area. That is nice and kinda easy to do, and once we're done we'll have to see what we will do with the top side with the adapters. We take a break for that day because we were not able to find the metal sheet that we need, and we continue with a little bit of harness working for the oil temp with the Moroso, so the ECU master can give some extra feedback. Day number 2, or actually 3 if we count the first part of the video. Well, we found the metal sheets, and as you can see they are pretty thick, and you're gonna tell me, wow, that's the thickness, that the roll bar is not touching the firewall. Well, yeah, and the idea was to just pull the whole thing, basically drill the firewall, and then with the studs and nuts you pull the firewall towards the roll bar and it's still pretty secure. No, I don't like such things. The firewall is so thin that it does not support anything literally. So this is a way more secure, way better option to actually have a thick metal plate reinforcing at least from one side the firewall, and we actually did design an outer side, the engine bay side, for the plate to squish the firewall in between, but unfortunately all the curvature of the firewall and everything that had is actually right there did not allow us to do what we exactly wanted to do, what we intended to do, and it's a bit unfortunate, but it's still fine, still way better than just pulling the whole firewall as the previous guy did. So as you can see here, Alex is marking the holes, drilling the plates on the sides and sides that it needs to be done, and after we're done here we will continue drilling the firewall on the car. After finishing with that, you can see we already did drill the holes through the firewall. We put the metal plate from the inside. Yeah, the thick one goes in and this thin one was supposed to go on the outside, but unfortunately, yeah, you can see a huge curve there, and it's still doable, but it would add just a little bit, and we would have to cut a little bit from the square reinforcement, and we were like, okay, it's not gonna add much, and Alex just takes the camera and puts it somewhere, I don't know. But yeah, once we are done with the reinforcements and we torque everything up to spec, we you know, do some modifications here and there for looks with the fiber or the cloth that I have. And Alex is now again working on the ECU. I find my boy Garagik, that's his name, Garagik, and he loves these cushion things from my old sofa, and he loves going under the hardtop. Yeah, I had to clean the hardtop from the inside a little bit. Before you ask anything, because I know you will see the slimy thing, yeah, those slimy things are the butyl. No, my hardtop is in perfect condition. The butyl is just a very thick, mucus-like thingy, but it really does help with the whole leaking thing. I obviously did not have leaks on the side, on the rear, but I don't know, I was stupid enough to say let's put it on the whole car. Obviously we'll be cleaning it sooner or later, but so far so good. Now the video would end here if we would come to an end, but luckily our friend Marinos saved us.
Well, only a couple days have passed since the first clips of this video, and Marinos did not disappoint. As you saw in the earlier clips, we had how you call it, clock spring that was not the correct one for my car. I don't know if it's a facelift, pre-facelift thing, or if it's something related to European, Asian and maybe USA cars, but he had a yellow connector, I had an orange connector, and so I couldn't swap them. But he did not disappoint, and in a couple of days he found us a proper one, and we will be trying to install this one right now. And let's wish that now we will have a horn. That's the main issue, main concern. I did not have a horn. Yeah, some guys are racers around here with small 50cc bikes. Maybe that was a bit bigger, but anyways, we have these boys, actually this boy, this girl, brother and sister, and one more girl right there. Let's get started. Yes! We are the champions, my friend. Δούλεψε η κόρνα, τώρα δουλεύει το flash. Πρέπει να βάλω το κλειδί. Βικτόρια.
Έλα, να σε τάξεις.
3. Από εδώ δουλεύει, πάνω πίσω δες. Δουλεύει. Ωραία.